For better or for worse, one of the I think nice things about being a lawyer in this business is that you deal really with all the people in the company and in the not just the area of the company you work with, but in the broader company as well. I always say that I know when everybody else in this company is going to get busy because it starts here. Like I said, I'm the deal maker. I bring in the initial deal. I may not, I mean, in fairness, A&R I guess would start first because they'll find the act. But then I'm one of the first people it comes to because the A&R person comes to the lawyer and says, we found this artist that we're interested. We need to put a deal together. So right away, I'm dealing with the A&R person. I'm going to be dealing with the president of the label, who obviously has to be interested. I'm dealing with the GM of the company. And we get the finance person involved, and we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation about, and sales, about what we think, make some projections about what we think this artist is going to sell initially so we can figure out what we think we should offer. So before we, had really conversation one with the artist or artist management, I've now touched bases with a variety of people within the company to sit down and talk and figure this out. We then make a proposal, and the proposal sometimes goes to a lawyer, it sometimes goes to artist management. In rare cases, it'll go to an artist themselves if they don't have representation, which we all hope they do. So that's how it comes to me. Once the deal gets done, it then gets passed on through the rest of the people in the company, through publicity, through marketing, as they start working the record, working the album through A&R, and they get in the studio. My job is not done because I have to continue to make sure that the monies are getting paid out properly, that they're being accounted to properly. There are questions that come up all the time about what rights we have to the recording. Can we do anything we want with this? Or are there certain things we need to go back to the artist for to get consent? So you stay very much involved with it even as it technically passes off your desk. And that's why you stay involved with really every aspect of this company. There's a person called an A&R admin person, I'm not sure you're familiar with, who really is the person who books studios, he watches the budgets. That person often reports into business affairs because it's very closely tied to setting up the deal, and you have to know what's going on. And as I said, we work with royalty accounting on that end of things to make sure that everything's getting paid out properly and to address questions. I also deal with the corporate on a corporate level because there are all kinds of things that come in that aren't specific to Blue Note or Manhattan or Angel, but have to do with really more operational issues. For example, we may put together a variety of clearance lists. Which artists, you'll create artists that say, we know these artists are cleared. In other words, you have the right to use this product, so you don't have to come back each time and ask. Those things tend to get done on a bigger scale. Following litigations that go on that affect the industry, following developments in new media. We once a month have new media calls with all the lawyers throughout EMI, so we all talk about issues that are coming up, deals we're working on, and we all stay current on things. So it really, and there's the distribution company, get involved in distribution companies. Sometimes we do distribution deals where we're almost sort of a channel, just to push something through the distribution company. So it really, the nice thing about it is you get involved in this business on all different levels, and you get to deal with all the different people in the company. So the roster is almost meaningless because, for purposes of this question, because even when an artist goes out of term, if you will, and term simply means off the roster, in other words, they're not actively recording for us anymore, you still deal with them. There are any numbers of times an artist will continue to have a consent right over an album or another piece of product, even if they are no longer actively recording for you. We try to keep that to a minimum, but it does happen. Even if an artist isn't alive, you have to deal with their estate. So we have a large catalog. Even though our active roster may not be as large as some other bigger labels, we have a very big catalog because this label has been around for so long. It's such a wonderful label. And dealing with the estates is harder than dealing with the live person any day of the week, trust me. So I don't know. It is large. It's hundreds. There are hundreds of, if you're looking at the catalog, there are potentially hundreds of contacts that I have out there. It's a lot.